I'm Ed Levine, the founder of SeriousEats.com and the creator of EdLevineEats.com, and I have been fortunate enough to eat for a living. It all started because all I did in my spare time was look for places to eat, and then I would tell my friends about them. In fact, my wife tells the story of on one of our first dates, and I would literally point out every food store and every restaurant and what their specialty was and what made them great. I wrote my first book in '92 called New York Eats, and it was an idiosyncratic guide to non-restaurant food in New York. I think it was kind of an insane thing to do because I also dealt with all the ethnic neighborhoods at the time, and literally every weekend I would set out with a shopping cart, armed with every clipping and every recommendation from friends, attack a different neighborhood. And I didn't think that anyone would pay attention to the book when the book came out. But then, lo and behold, the New York Times called, and it just sort of built from there. And so all of a sudden I became this credible food person, and I started writing for the Times. Then I wrote another book, a sequel to New York Eats called New York Eats More, and then Ruth Reichel called me the missionary of the delicious. So I said, well, that's pretty cool. And so now I can't walk a block in New York without somebody going, Ed, come taste this. Jacques Torres' Chocolate Haven. I mean, Jacques Torres, first came to fame in New York as the pastry chef at Le Cirque. He's making his own couverture, not just the bonbons or the truffles, but actually the chocolate itself. The best thing I ever had there was this ice cream sandwich with roasted banana ice cream. You know, it's $5 for an ice cream sandwich, but you'd think it's a bargain. I think the coolest space in New York right now is Spice Market. When he brought all that stuff over from Asia, all that wood and teak and everything else, you feel transported when you walk in there, and all those ceiling fans going, you feel like you're in a film. Stanley Wong is the chef. He went on a tour of Asian street food with John George before they opened it. I don't think there's a restaurant in New York where you feel more transported than Spice Market. There's nothing like it. If going to a restaurant is like David Rockwell once said to me, taking a 2-hour vacation from your life, I think that's a great place to take a 2-hour vacation from your life. I think it's actually more fun to discover rooms that not many people know about. For example, at the Blue Ribbon Bakery, there's a room for 10 people downstairs. Wide range of food available, great sandwiches, great French fries, great burgers, great barbecued shrimp. Whatever you want, those guys, they know what good food is. Now, another place that nobody knows about, and they should, is an Italian restaurant called Teodora. Giancarlo Guidaldi is just a great Italian chef. That is a place that actual Italians who are visiting New York go to feel like they're eating in Italy. The place that chefs go to hang out is Blue Ribbon. And the Bromberg Brothers are sort of, to me, unsung heroes of the food world. They're classically trained, but utterly New York and American in their, disposition and in their take on food. So you can get great fried chicken, you can get really good raw oysters, a great burger, you can just get whatever you'd want to eat. So no matter what they make, it's delicious. And the fact that you can get delicious stuff at Blue Ribbon until 4 in the morning, that's pretty cool. In sushi, you get what you pay for. Masa may be $400 a head when you get through with it, but at least you know that he's using phenomenal fish, he knows what to do with it, and he's serving 20 diners a night. Kuruma Sushi is a fabulous sushi bar. You just go there and you let the sushi chef have his way with you. And again, you're going to be poorer for it, sort of monetarily. Good sushi is costly, and there's just no way around it. But culinarily, you're going to be richer. As far as sort of classic New York steakhouses go, I think Bensons is a terrific New York steakhouse. First of all, they have the right waiters. So you get the waiters that have been serving steak for 30 years, and they're slightly gruff, but they're sort of Hamish, and they kind of treat you shabbily, but they let you know with a wink that they really love you. And that's the first prerequisite of a great steakhouse. And then the meat is dry-aged, prime. The side dishes are really good. The hash browns are fine, and the French fries are excellent. You get the kind of experience you want to have when you go to a New York steakhouse. I think the most interesting and best seafood restaurant in New York is Esketh. The chef, Dave Pasternak, is one of these guys that when he's not cooking fish, he's fishing. He's never lived more than 5 blocks from the ocean in his entire life. And he has such passion and such knowledge, and he puts it into every plate of food so that whether you're getting raw fish Italian style called crudo or just a simple salt-baked fish for 2, everything is as it should be. And in a fish restaurant, that's what you want. And I don't think there's another seafood experience like it in New York, or anywhere else for that matter. I'm not much of a cocktail drinker, but I did go to this place called the Pegu Club, and even I recognized that the mixologist really knew what he was doing. He makes everything from fresh juices, and he makes his own ginger beer, and he makes his own lemonade, and all his concoctions reflect the use of fantastic ingredients and someone who really knows what they're doing and who has a passion for cocktails. So if you feel the need for a cocktail and you're anywhere close to the Pegu Club, that's where I'd head.